What does it mean to be a clairaudient? Hi, I'm Atherton Drenth, and I'm a medical intuitive and educator in the healing arts. In this video, you're going to learn what it means to be predominantly clairaudient. Clairaudient is clear hearing, and they hear through the area just above the ears and below the temple, so in this area right here. They receive that information through words, songs, lyrics. It is the easiest one to hear, and it is the hardest one to accept. Why? Because it's that little voice in the back of your mind that we're always so afraid that we're kind of going a little woo-woo. But the point is that we all have that little voice in our head. But there's a big difference between your ego yammering away at you all the time and then that intuitive voice, which is always very loving and kind. Clairaudients are very musically inclined. They are very sensitive to sound. They can't tolerate ambient noise. They always have the best audio equipment. They have a tendency to be musicians or singers, something to do with sound. A clairaudient will hear a person's aura. I knew a person years ago who was a musician. She was classically trained, and she could hear people's auras by whether it was a B sharp or a B flat. She always knew what colors were based on the different. I have no musical experience, so all I can do is try to explain to you it the way she tried to explain it to me. But being a classically trained musician, she knew by listening to a person's aura whether it was a healthy aura or if it wasn't. She knew that different colors carried a different tone, so she was able to read people's energy fields that way. The other thing that I find very interesting about clairaudience, because we all have that little voice in the back of our heads, and I've been teaching for 20 years, and I have never yet to this day taught a class where there hasn't been an open discussion where people have talked about, oh yeah, I remember when I heard that little voice in the back of my head and it warned me about danger, or it told me that something was going to happen, then it did. So again, of all of the 4 different types, you have all 4 of them, and like I say, in every class I've ever taught, there's always been people talking about their clairaudience. So you have it, you just may not be aware of it if you're not that musically inclined. Clairaudients, because they're so sensitive to sound and they're aware of sounds around them all the time, have a tendency to really crave silence. So they will be the person who can be very introverted. You know, they're fine out on stage, for example, and singing to massive crowds, but at the end of the day, they just need to go home and they just need to be quiet because they need to give it a rest. Clairaudience evokes the strongest emotional reaction for people. Songs can bring up memories. They can make you cry. They can make you laugh. You may not remember your first dance, but you're going to remember the first dance that you had with your partner. Or you're going to have a moment in time where there's going to be a song that will be played that will evoke a very strong emotional memory for you, and that is clairaudience. So if you would like to know more about your intuition and the 4 different types, I've written a book called The Intuitive Dance that teaches you everything you need to know about the different types of intuition and how to dance with it. And be sure to follow along in this series so that you can learn more about your intuition. If you have any questions, please drop your comments below, and I'll be happy to get back to you. And make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel so that you can see any additional videos in this series of what type of intuitive you are. In the meantime, enjoy developing your intuition and have fun with it.